Okay, sit yourself, not sit yourself, lay yourself down on the floor. Have a bit of extra cushioning on your normal mat if you've got one. Just laying nice and flat, and then have a bolster for underneath your knees and a couple of blocks for underneath your feet, and a folded blanket for your head. So if you can cover your eyes, then all the better, because we want warmth, we want darkness, we want comfort and relaxation. So if you feel like you might be a bit chilly, use a blanket. So I just like one over my feet. Usually that's the bit that usually goes cold. So the blanket over your feet if you need it, or over your body, and then just lay yourself down into the floor. Just observe the position of your bolster. Make it underneath, make it so that it's underneath your knees, and then allow yourself to release into the floor. This first moment of relaxation is always the most blissful, I always find. Just after being on your feet all day, being on the go, often it feels as though you kind of tire yourself out without giving yourself a bit of time to recuperate. So just lay back on the floor. Just appreciate the straight line of the floor. Just appreciate the four walls that surround you, protecting you from the wind and the rain and the weather outside, which has been fairly extreme today. Just allow yourself the sensation of complete release and relaxation. So if after being here for a little while you realise that maybe you're not comfortable or you need to move, then just adjust. Make sure that you feel comfortable. That is the priority. Comfort, warmth, and if you can make some darkness. You can cover up your eyes or just keep your eyes closed. So listen to the sound of your breath as it enters and as it exits. Long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Consciously release the jaw by drawing the lower teeth away from the upper teeth. Breathe in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils if you can. Allow the skin around the face to soften. Soften the eyeballs and the sockets. And release in the inner ear. Allow the brain cells to sink down to the back of the brain, down to the base of the skull. Release in the inner ear and relax the neck muscles, softening into the shoulders. Soften the neck and the shoulders, letting go of the upper arms, letting go of the elbows and the forearms. Releasing the upper arms and the elbows, and softening the muscles and the bones of the lower arms and the palms of the hands. Relax the hands, allowing the upper body to completely rely on the floor. Soften the rib cage, release the muscles around the armpit chest and around the sternum bone, softening the muscles around the abdomen, just allowing the upper body to sink into the ground. Draw your attention into the hips and allow the hips to relax, letting the pelvis relax, letting the abdomen become soft. Relax the femur bone, the top of the thigh, and relax the muscles around the thighs. Soften the kneecaps in the sockets. Allow the fronts of the thighs to, the fronts of the shins to sink into the backs of the shins. Just let go of the shins into the floor and release the skin around the top of the feet and the bottom of the feet, just allowing the body to completely relax into the floor. As you remain in the position, surrender a little more deeply into the relaxation, aiming to hold and control the pose without holding. Just stay in the pose and use the pose to relax. Just giving yourself a good period of relaxation just to ground yourself after your day. savouring every moment of relaxation. Taking deep, indulgent inhalations, filling the body up with that floaty, light energy. relying on the energy that you discover as you relax the physical body. Okay, when you're ready, just disturb yourself by wriggling your toes, wriggling your fingers, and then bring your feet onto the bolster. Have the feet apart and the knees together for a moment or two. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then bring yourself up into a seated position, just cross legs, just with your hands on your knees for a moment. Just observe how your physical energy has changed. So we'll do a couple of poses just to stretch out your back. So if you've been doing gardening or whatever and your back is feeling a bit stiff, this pose is really good. So it's just our lying side stretch. So get your bolster and you're just going to lay yourself across the bolster. It's the side of the abdomen rather than the hip. So the hip kind of sits on there, but it's really more the abdomen. And then you just stretch your arms out, you stretch your legs out. You can give yourself a good old stretch, but then you can just let the pose release. Like all restorative poses, it should be relaxation rather than intense stretch. But you can just stretch your legs out, flex your heels, stretch your arms out, and then let the legs relax a little, let the arms relax a little. If it's not comfortable, then adjust until it is. Just feel the opening around the lower and middle back. Just allow yourself to relax. Just every now, just adjusting if you need to. Every now and just having a stretch, but then just let yourself relax. Okay, and then just bend your knees, bend your arms, just roll onto your front and then come up onto your knees. Just sit back on your heels, just observe how your body feels, how your energy feels after the stretch. And then, of course, we need to do the same stretch on the other side. So when you're ready, just come down onto your other side, again with the bolster in the side waist, and then stretching out initially, and then just allowing yourself to relax into the pose. So it's quite intense around the hips. In the legs, it can feel quite intense. So just adjust until you feel comfortable, and then just allow yourself to relax. Okay, and then just bend your knees, bend your top arm, just roll yourself onto your front, and then just sit back on your heels And lift up into your chest. Just observe your energy. Listening to the sound of the breath. Okay, and then we're going to have our legs on a chair. So just come onto your back again. You're going to have just a chair, just so you could use a stool or just use a settee or whatever. And then you just bring yourself into the chair and then just rest with your legs sitting on the chair and the back is directly on the floor. Again, if you feel like you might be a bit chilly, then you can cover yourself up. Just allow yourself to release into the floor. If your head feels like it rolls back, then you can have a blanket or a folded blanket for underneath your head. So just with the legs extended, just feel how you can just press your back into the floor. Just really spread your back out across the floor. Just listen to your breath and allow yourself to release. Just allowing the upper body to surrender into the floor. Just feeling how your back is supported by the floor. Just a gentle inversion. Just helps to quieten the brain and release tension in the legs and the hips and the back. And to bring yourself out of this really comfortable pose, just bring your knees in toward your chest. Just pull your knees in toward your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then very gently just roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then just stretch yourself, stretch the top leg out, and then just bring yourself up into cross legs. Just again, come back into cross legs, just holding onto your knees, observing your energy. And then just move your chair out of the way. And we're going to finish off in the same way that we started, just simple, basic relaxation pose. With the blanket underneath your head, the blocks underneath your feet, the bolster underneath your knees. And just a nice final relaxation. Just let yourself release into the floor. Maybe just observe how perhaps your back feels a little freer. Allow yourself to release into the floor, letting go of the muscles, unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs, so that you just bring the entire weight of the body down onto the floor, feeling as though the body is heavy on the ground. But really promptly out of that heaviness comes genuine lightness that radiates out from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs and the flesh and the skin. Just that feeling of energetic lightness that our relaxation poses bring to the body and the mind. We can never underestimate the value of relaxation, because it's the body's opportunity to let go of the harmful stress and tension that we accumulate throughout the day. And relaxation is really positive for your energy and for your mental well-being. So enjoy these last few moments, just filling the body up with the positive lightness of energy that radiates out from the bones and into the muscles and the organs and the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly throughout the body, down into the toes, into the tips of the fingers, and into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bring yourself back into this basic relaxation pose. And then bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together for a moment or two. Just resting your back into the floor. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg. Come up into a seated position, just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy. You've given yourself good positive energy to put into your evening, and maybe your back feels nice and free as well. So thank you very much for joining me.